This is Amy Wentley with Chi Knuckles Knitting. This video covers how to measure a tail for the long tail cast-on. This is one of a series of videos covering cast-ons you can use for knitting, and a link to the playlist is in the description below and on my blog at chiknucklesknitting.com. Before you can do a long tail cast-on or a number of other cast-ons that require you to measure out a tail beforehand, there are a few different ways that you can measure how long that tail will be. One is that you can just determine what the finished length of your cast-on is going to be, and you can measure out a length of yarn about 3 to 4 times that length. So that involves a little bit of math. That's one thing that you can do. Another thing you can do is you can approximate it by calculating 1 inch for each stitch. So if I needed to cast on 100 stitches, I could measure out 100 inches of yarn. Another thing you can do is wrap your yarn around your needle 10 times, like this. 1, and I leave a little bit of a tail. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And stop and look at that length. And then you can use this length, will approximate 10 stitches, and then measure out the length based on this for your final length. So if this is 10 stitches, then 10 times this length would be 100 stitches. So I can just overlap the string and measure out that way 10 times for approximately 100 stitches. Another thing you can do that's a kind of a fun trick is if you have 2 separate balls of yarn of the same color, because imagine that these 2 yarn balls are the same color for your project, okay? And you can use 2 different balls of yarn to do a long tail cast on. And what you would do is you would make a slip knot in the very beginning. You don't have to worry about measuring out a tail. So just make a slip knot at the beginning, and then you can set up for your long tail cast on or another cast on that requires a long tail, and you can consider these 2 stitches your first 2 stitches of the cast on, and then you can use each one of these strands, one from each ball, to do a slingshot and to start your long tail cast on. And you can just keep going for 300, 400 stitches if you need to. And when you get to the end, you can just cut one piece of yarn and use the other for the long tail cast on. So make sure you come back if you'd like to learn the long tail cast on. There's another video that covers it. And then there are a number of other cast ons like the double start or the Channel Island cast on that use a long tail. So come back and watch one of those videos. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.